The Liberal Party has chosen former McKinsey consultant Simon Kennedy to contest the federal seat of Cook, following former Prime Minister Scott Morrison's resignation. Kennedy, who tried and failed to win the seat of Bennelong in 2022, beat 3 other candidates in a ballot of local party members on Monday night. The 41-year-old triumphed with 158 votes after a meeting lasting almost 2.5 hours. The Alp is unlikely to run a candidate in the upcoming by-election, putting him in the box seat to become the next member of the Liberal team in Canberra. The mayor of Sutherlandshire, Carmelo Pess, who came second with 90 votes, was considered a strong chance to win the party's nomination. However, support for the millionaire businessman began falling away in recent days. Veteran Family Advocate Commissioner Gwen Churn was also considered an outside chance heading into the ballot, having won the endorsement of former Prime Minister John Howard. She received 35 votes. Benjamin Britten, a veteran and former United Australia Party candidate, was also in the running. He secured 13 votes. Kennedy does not currently live in the area, but assured the electorate he would be moving to Woolooware on Friday. He was joined on Tuesday by outgoing member Mr. Morrison, who said he only moved to Cook a year before he was elected. "We are very excited to be moving there and to be part of this beautiful community," Mr. Kennedy said. "The people of Cook expect it. The first thing he wants to address is the cost of living crisis. I was talking to a business in Creela. It's closed because of these economic conditions. That's what I'm hearing from the people of Cook. They want someone to stand up and fight for them on those issues." Mr. Kennedy is no stranger to political contests, having won the Liberal nomination for the Northern Sydney seat of Bennelong in the 2022 federal election. The seat once held by John Howard was being vacated by former tennis star John Alexander. However, the Liberals suffered a 7.9% swing against them and Mr. Kennedy narrowly lost the seat to Labour's Jerome Laxale. His patience has now been rewarded by Liberal Party members in Cook. Female representation in focus. Kennedy's press election will disappoint some advocates for greater female representation in Canberra. Charlotte Mortlock, the founder of Hilma's Network, which aims to boost female representation, was said to be crying after the vote. Ms. Churn was the only female candidate to nominate. Mr. Morrison on Tuesday said Southern Sydney had 50-50 Liberal female representation, with Jenny Ware the member for Hughes. "What matters in a political party is the party members get to have their say. And they've had that say, and there was a very strong win for Simon for last night," he said.
Women make up about 30% of the federal coalition party room and the Liberals standing with female voters was seen by party insiders as a major stumbling block in the 2022 campaign. That's despite Mr. Morrison appointing a record number of women to his cabinet. Born in the United States, Ms. Churn worked on a range of international development projects, including in Afghanistan. That's where she met her husband, Australian Sergeant Peter Caffey, who died by suicide in 2017. She was appointed to the role of Veteran Family Advocate Commissioner in 2020. Blue Ribbon seat. The seat of Cook takes in large swathes of the Sutherlandshire, including Cronulla, despite a swing against Morrison in 2022. The Liberal Party holds the seat with a safe 12% margin. Prior to Mr. Morrison, the seat was held by former NSW Minister Bruce Baird, the father of former Premier Mike Baird. Party members gathered on Monday night and heard pitches from each of the candidates before voting. Typically, if no candidate wins an absolute majority in the first round, voting is repeated and candidates progressively drop out. However, Mr. Kennedy won an outright majority. Under party rules, candidates aren't allowed to speak to the media until the process is complete, after failing to win the Victorian seat of Dunkley at the weekend. The upcoming Cook by-election will be a much easier contest for Peter Dutton's party. Given its safe Liberal status, Labour is not expected to run a candidate. While the party's decision is not yet official, ALP head office will almost certainly choose to preserve its campaign war chest for more winnable battles. The date of the by-election will be determined by the Speaker, Milton Dick, after consulting with the Australian Electoral Commission.